Here we are back again. I did a little more work on some things to do with Cloud 9. Uh, I know it's really kind of a shock to everyone, right? That a nobody from nowhere all of a sudden thinking that, he can design a viable platform from the ground to space. Well, it got me thinking about what my wife said the other day about instead of building more walls, bigger build a bigger table. And I feel like um, being able to say colonize the moon or save ourselves from Apophis, which I've mentioned that I have an idea about maybe capturing Apophis and you know not letting it destroy the planet. But I am just a nobody from a trailer park. But um, it's a big planet, a lot of people on it, a lot of ants here. We can do this. Ants can do this. Um, I know it doesn't look like much, but um, I don't know how well you can see any of it. But um, there's one of the Cloud 9 coming up here around here's the space station, right? Whatever substation by the moon. Understand? I mean, it makes sense to me to colonize the moon than to first go and try and colonize Mars. I'm just saying. I mean, right? Baby steps, right? Um, and then maybe throw some rocks, farther that way, right? Um, but this is just my vision of how the system works because it's like Legos. Each module can connect to another module, can connect to another module, and then take your little you know your Cloud 9 ship and come home after you've brought a dozen other modules up after the day's over. Anyway, and repeat the process. I said, I don't know how well you can see this picture, but this is just a sketch. But I have been doing some scientific research, right? Believe it or not, just doing some research, and because I like to do research. But Kevlar versus graphene and the tensile strength of carbon nanofibers and the usages. But graphene has a property when introduced and electrified that it will superheat air. So I just figured that it'd be better for graphene as the nominal shell for the Cloud 9 structure, but um, the cost between the two is pretty nominal. But that's like $50 a square yard for Kevlar, and depending on how many layers you're going to use. Well, like I said, one two person unit, right? 100,000 uh, cubic feet of compressed of air, superheated air to lift per ton, right? So you make your craft based off of those calculations, right? It is, after all, an airship, technically. Uh, uh, you know, thanks. Uh, it just makes sense to me, and the design I made it, and almost, it's not an X pattern, but it does have the circular void in between for the propulsion as you're trying to gain the 11 kilometers per second escape velocity with your you know super light, super fast Kevlar screaming machine, right? So here we are. Um, I mean, like I said, I'm a nobody from a fucking trailer park that just got this idea. See, you know, and I'm running with it. Um, so like, here's the Earth, right? This is the Earth. I don't know if you can see the Earth. It's pretty, right? Pretty Earth. Pretty picture of the Earth, like South America, America, Africa over here. Yeah, little hurricane going on down here. I kind of drew, but whatever. But that stuff is important. That's just the idea of, we should colonize the the moon first. I'm just saying, if you can't get a viable, sustainable base on the moon, right? I mean, come on. I mean, really? Um, and I figured it out. I mean, $200 million per unit to get 200 people into space, right? With enough air to live there for a fucking year, you know? Come on. Um, yeah, the ship's gonna look big, and it's gonna be a big plus sign with a hole in it floating up in the sky, but those people are going to go to the moon and land there and stay there and party down for a year and save the planet in case Apophis does hit. There will fucking be people right there that can come home. Oh my god, did I say Apophis? I said Apophis, yeah. I mentioned before that I had an idea to capture Apophis also, but I'm not going into that today. So, after seeing all this picture right here and listening to me blather about, shit, here's another picture that I was working on. This is some specifications as far as, ratios to get Cloud9 off the ground, right? And the cost of doing that. So the major point is right here, and all the air you will need when you get there. 6 pods separate. So, like, if you lose one, if you lose two, if you lose three, if you lose 5, you're still going to have a pod of air. It's like, kind of like, Curiosity killed the cat, right? You got 9 lives. Well, you got 6 lives. You got the central pod and the extra pods of life-giving oxygen, right? If you crash. and still be able to come home in your Kevlar spaceship if you need to. But anyway, like I said, this is all just pencil shit. I'm just doing this because I'm doing it. But um, if anybody thinks the idea is good, then they should call me, like Branson, Musk, I don't know, NASA, right? I mean, I'm sure we've got really brainy guys other than me. I mean, I'm just saying. I hope there's some other brainy guys out there, brainy women, brainy peoples, brainy men and women. That we can do this stuff, right? And cheaply. So, like I said, I don't know if you can see this picture very well because this is just my handwriting and sketch work and some of the calculations, but uh, the ideas are in there. And uh, this is showing the comparison to, say, the Jupiter class version of Cloud 9 versus the point to point red, right? I call it red because it's going to be red hot. I mean, the superheated plasma of reentry is pretty hot. That's why I call it red. Um, but the thing about superheated plasma, right? Superheated air, it creates more lift. So it's going to slow down faster on reentry because it's going to get lighter as it gets closer to the reentry point of the atmosphere. Oh, this is science, right? This is science. It's not entertainment. I mean, it is entertainment to me, but it's really science. And also, I have touched on the shape and the design of Cloud Nine, which is, like I said, basically an X pattern with a hole in it and a pod in it. And I did mention that these all can interlock to make a bigger pod, to put a bigger pod. So the lift increases as the stack increases. So there you go. This is just a couple things I've done to the last couple days. There's nothing really else. Oh, I think I did draw uh, an airlock function, type airlock sketch. These are just sketches, not mechanical drawing yet. I mean, no, I mean, even Walt Disney, you know, started off just as a sketchbook. So here you go. Um, More to come, and hopefully, some millionaire, billionaire tycoon will understand it doesn't have to be um, expensive to get to space. And make it worth it, I guess. So, um, maybe tomorrow I think I'm going to play some more guitar, maybe write another song, but I'll get back into doing this. I got some more interesting things I wanted to chase down from in researching the ability of floating into space on a cloud. I mean, the 11 kilometers per second you have to have to attain to uh, escape Earth's gravity, but the the light the lighter the vehicle is, the less mass that the vehicle exudes on itself, and plus your starting point of trying to reach Mako begins at the ionosphere, where the airship has already lifted you to with no fuel consumption. That's my point. That's a big point. I think that's a really big point, that all that oxygen is going to go with you. So, yeah, think about it. Have a great day.